disaster preparedness. So they take care of taking preparations at their own homes so that they're prepared for at least 3 days with food and water, medicine, anything else that they need. They've looked around their home as well as their neighborhood and tried to mitigate any disasters like secured bookshelves and water heaters so they don't fall over in an earthquake. And so what they do post-disaster, first off, duck, cover, and hold, just like you've probably been trained since grade school for earthquakes. Wait till the shaking stops, and then they would survey their own home, take care of any hazards if they needed to shut off any utilities, anything like that, take care of any injuries that occurred in their own home. Then they would, from there, they would assemble with other team members and go throughout their community. This is a building here. There's been significant structural collapse. There's a number of victims. And so what they would do is they'd come to the building and they would first determine if there's any hazards. Is it safe to enter the building? Because if the building's about to fall down, it makes no sense to have them go into the building and add to the problem. The CERT program actually started following the Mexico City earthquake in the early 80s, and they found that people wanted to help out, but they didn't have the training, and so unfortunately a lot of the rescuers became victims. And so they started this training program, and it's throughout the whole United States now. And so these members, they know what to look for, whether a building's safe or not to go into. And so what you're going to see, they're going to come in. They've already determined that the building is safe from the outside. There's no signs that it's going to fall down. They're going to come in, and then they'll triage and determine who's most severely injured. Some of the student actors here have simulated injuries that are incompatible with life, and they'll be tagged with a striped ribbon, meaning that we just can't help them. And then the other people will be either red for very severe, and they need to be treated immediately. Yellow would be like delayed treatment, like say you've got a broken arm, and on any given day a broken arm is a serious injury, but in an earthquake it's not going to be that serious of an injury. You're going to be in a lot of pain, but you're going to have to wait. And then there may be some people that they will tag green, that they have minor injuries or no injuries, and they can get up and walk on their own. They may be able to help out. So,
okay, is everybody okay? Come to my voice if you can hear me. Come walking over here to me.
Anybody that can walk, get up and walk to the door. Anybody that can walk, get up and walk to the door. Immediately.
So even though these individuals have some injuries, they're still able to get up and get out of the building on their own. The CERT members will quickly take a look at them, and I think you're too injured to walk. I think you should probably lay back down. So they're going to evaluate them and see, maybe somebody, they're very seriously injured, but they still thought they could get up and walk. And so they're going to, we call it triage. It's a French term and it came from battlefields to determine who's injured the worst and treat them first. CERT members work in a team, and there are 5 members in this team. Rose Clark is the team leader, and she kind of stays by the entrance to the building to keep the team oriented. We've left the lights on so that you guys can see what they're doing, but in a real disaster, the lights may be off and they'd be operated by flashlights. It would be very helpful to have somebody at the door with a flashlight to keep everybody oriented, kind of coordinate their efforts. You'll see the markings that the team leader is making, that this would normally be on the outside, but we put it on the inside so that you can see it. Indicates the time that the team entered, who the team members are, any hazards, and the number of victims that they've encountered.
Well, we got a pulse here. It's over here. His mouth is breathing. She's going.
So what they're doing now is they're doing a quick survey of the scene and determining how many victims they have, who's most severely injured. The victims that don't have a pulse, they get one chance where they'll reposition them, see if they can breathe on their own. If they don't start breathing on their own, we tag them with the striped surveyor's tape, indicates that they're dead, and that we're not going to expend any more resources trying to rescue them. You'll notice the one victim over here, in addition to her injuries, she's also in contact with an electrical wire that could be live. If she we'd ask her to move away from that because we don't want to put the, and we wouldn't want to touch the electrical wire since it's hazardous.
Unplugged it.
You unplugged it, okay, excellent. If that was like a wire that you couldn't unplug, we wouldn't want to touch it. If the victim could move, we'd have them move away from it, but in this case, she can't move because she's deceased, and also she's in contact with the wire. Certain members are trained to do light search and rescue. They wouldn't do heavy lifting like if this was a concrete building that fell on victims. They're not trained to do that, but for light stuff like just picking up building material like boards and stuff, they can pick that up, and then you'll find that they're going to likely use those as